Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me because I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Oh my god. Welcome to the first Dangerous Monday in a few weeks. I'm Dave, you can call me Dave. I'm clearly just confused. Things are not working well today at all. A bit muffled. Let's try that. I'll bump the volume because obviously everything's different now, because since the last time we spoke I've reinstalled the entire computer, so everything is just getting reset now. So I am just trying to get everything working because nothing's calibrated, nothing's installed, nothing's got all the right settings. God, the AD tracker's interface thing doesn't work properly. That's a bit weird. Don't do nothing. Little head move thing doesn't work. But yes, so I am trying to get everything ready. I spent most of today trying to get my internet connection working properly because I've been getting half speeds, because apparently my Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy. So it's all going a bit strange. I'm going to disable that, so that makes sure I'm on the right microphone. Let's just see if I need to boost that up any. Don't allow applications to take exclusive control. Okay, so that should be on there, so that's on, that's fine. Right, that's as high as the computer can make the microphone, so what I'll do is I'll boost it in the mixer here, which is fine. I mean, I'm in I'm really up in the high levels now. It's actually reading out, which is odd. Okay, now, according to joystick settings, the AD tracker is working. Okay. Oh crap! Don't drop the joystick. Oh dearie me. So basically, all those crashes I was getting last time I was online, before I decided to jump to the PS4, I'm hoping they're resolved now. I'm not entirely sure if anything's going to work in terms of streaming at the moment. Voice attack, I know, isn't set up properly because I haven't got the bindings imported over, and the import bindings command doesn't seem to work anymore, which is a bugger because that was the most useful thing you had. Because I've got all the new versions, and apparently that means they're all kind of not working properly, which is a buggy. Okay, right. Let's start the game. See what happens. So yeah, where have I been? 8 months, Carzini. That's almost enough time to have a baby.
Greetings, Commander.
Right, so go back over to OBS, flip to the gaming stream, and the camera's not working. That's odd. Now it is installed, but it probably has changed its settings. So Davecam 1.
All systems ready to go.
Okay, that's not working. Devices, 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 devices. Devices and printers. Logitech camera. Let the cat out. Okay, so we have camera issues. Okay, that's interesting. Right, have we got a head look? Yes, we do. Not 3-axis because I can't get that fucking working again. Garzini, go type something else into the chat because I think the chat client just crashed as well. So why won't you work? That's not good. It is plugged in, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, camera is not working. Fair enough. Is that because I've disabled it? Nope, it's fine. It must just be that it doesn't show subscription messages. Recording devices. I'm going to enable that. Put it back on again.
That is not an option.
Okay, that. Go there. No, it's not letting me do it. Oh no!
Standing by.
Standing by.
Standing by.
Reporting for duty.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Hey, the new crew. Isn't it great?
Displaying map.
I never said display map.
That is not an option.
Okay.
Locking target and setting course.
What the hell?
Please
Playing
select
entry.
your destination.
Stand by.
Zeon's done. Look for Ridley Scott Station when you arrive.
Wow. A lot still going on there. Interesting. Okay, right. Anyway, so yeah, welcome. I can't get the camera working, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm just going to try and add a new camera just to see if that might work. Oh no, we're okay. We're okay. It just seems to be a bit of a dodgy thing. What resolution do we need to be in? Is that the one? Could well be. Configure video, which now gives me the controls. Nice. So let's zoom into where we're actually seeing me rather than the entirety of my room. Hi! I'm excited! I'm back and I'm bad and I'm dangerous to know. Okay, right, let's get it back where it should be. Let's just look at the other Dave Cam one, unlock it so I can see where it's actually set. Doesn't say it's anywhere, interestingly enough. Psycho Cow! My mouse seems to have stopped working. That's bizarre. What the hell is going on with this thing today? Seriously hoping that's not an indication that it's going to crash out again. TechNet mouse. Something just fell. Don't know what
You're
it was.
welcome.
Right, plug that back in. There's the mouse. Okay. What the flippin' heck is going on with my life today? I seem to be having some trouble with my lifestyle. So let's unplug that and then plug that in.
You're welcome.
Yes, Commander, that's already done.
It's possibly a battery issue on the mouse. So let's go for the old-fashioned cabled mouse just so I can get things back and going and hope we don't have any more pigging technical problems. Nope, it's gone as well. Oh no, there it is. So Dave Cam 1 doesn't seem to exist, so I'll remove that. Yes. And then I'll rename that to Dave Cam 1. So that needs to go somewhere up there. Teeny tiny me, I'm afraid, these days, peeps. I'm going for the minimalist approach at the moment. Right, so that's where I need to be, up in that corner. Okay, right, so we've got chat over there, we've got all the stuff over there, we've got the game there, and that's it. Minimalist. Stephen Curry, hello, how are you doing? Right, so I'll put that back down there just now so it's out of the way. Right, we're on, we're ready to rock and roll. Yeah! I can't remember if I did this change of layout before before everything started going tits up, or if I did this beforehand. It's a different layout compared to what it was about 2 weeks before I went offline to go to India and stuff. But yeah, so yeah. Then I think you missed the last couple of weeks anyway, didn't you? So I don't know. But anyway, we're done. We're ready. Ow! I've got a sore wrist now. Open galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
Oh, for heaven's sake, what the hell is going on? Now the air tracker stopped working. Oh. Am I having USB problems or what? Connected. Set level. How was India? India was interesting. I can't really say that I enjoyed myself because it wasn't a holiday or it wasn't something I was going to do to enjoy myself. It was a business trip, and that's all I can really say it was. Maniac Psycho, hello, Mr. Lurker. He's lurking in Diablo. Very frustrated updating my app with the latest material engineering. Yeah, there's a lot of changes. It's a big update, this one, a lot bigger than I thought. But what I wondered was, why the hell is it just broken my head tracker? Everything has just gone tits up. This is why I was 15 minutes late starting. Because just every single thing that can go wrong on this computer has gone wrong. The head tracker itself is just a nightmare of mucking about today. And yesterday. So game controller settings. It's not even detected in the game controllers. So why has it kicked it out? Okay, go away. Plug it in. Bring it in. Okay. Game controller. There we go. It's back. So I'll go into here now and then set level again. Then go back into here and we're back. Okay. Right. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Yeah, so that key binding hasn't been done. God. So there's no import bindings. Import bindings. Import key bindings. Import controls. Fuck off. Oh my god. So I'm going to be doing everything the hard way today, I think. So let's just go to the galaxy map the hard way. Go to the bookmarks where Colonia is, plot route. So as you probably worked out by the title of the stream, we're doing the highway to Colonia again. Sort of starting where we left off about 4 weeks ago, I think. About a month ago roughly now, I think. Raise landing gear.
Retracting landing gear.
No, of course you don't have that control there. So yeah, India was a working trip. Psycho Cow, it wasn't a fun trip. It was an opportunity to go and see a different country that I kind of didn't get anything around the edges of to do anything important. Not important, that's not the right word. It was an important trip for the sake of the business I'm in. But in terms of enjoyment, in terms of being able to do stuff like touristy things, it wasn't great. Oh, it works. Good old. So I got there on the Saturday. It was a 12-hour flight, and then obviously skipped 5.5 hours. So by the time I got there, it was like quite late in the day. It was early in the morning actually on Sunday. So it was about 3 or 4 o'clock. I got into India. Blind Speed, thank you for the subscription. Wow, 2 months in a row. Thank you. I'm glad you're obviously enjoying the stream. Yeah, so 4 o'clock on the Sunday morning, got to the hotel about 5, went to sleep, and didn't actually wake up until 3 in the afternoon on Sunday. Primarily because I had actually been ill on the Friday night, or during the day on the Friday. I wasn't well at work on the Friday, and then I wasn't well in the evening at work, and I ended up having to take things like Imodium and stuff like that to try and settle my stomach down before I could go. So that'll tell you what was going on. And I don't know whether it was anxiety or worrying about the trip or just something I've eaten or anything like that, but all I know is that I was in absolute bloody agony that day, so I had to do something about it. So I didn't sleep on the Friday night at all. I had to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport for 5 to get the plane at 8. So didn't sleep for 2 days. If it's just down the back of the sofa, I still appreciate it being thrown at me, mate. Thank you very much. Feed the cat.
As you wish.
So these are the new planet textures then. Aren't they cool? They are very different. And apparently this is not them finished, this is just the first layer. So they're going to get more detailed and more meaningful as the year progresses. But they are very nice. I do like them. Certainly much more interesting than landing on what we're landing on before, a big beige ball. So I thought I'd have a bit of a dance around and let you see those new things, given that I do exploration shit and I'm just travelling at the moment, so give you something interesting to look at. So got to India. Wasted all of Sunday. The other guys that were there had gone on a nature safari thing on the Saturday. So that was good. They enjoyed themselves, but I wasn't there at that point. They did wait around for me on the Sunday to see if I was around, but they didn't see me the entire day, so they buggered off out about 3 o'clock just to see around the town of Trivandrum. And essentially I still felt like shit. So I just sat in the hotel room on the Sunday, kind of trying to get my stomach under control and find out what the hell was going on. And then I went down for my dinner. And that was me. I met up with the guys, we had some tea and then carried on. But then from that point on, it was go to bed, get up in the
Compiling
morning.
data for cartography.
We're starting work at about 11 o'clock, so we're going out there at 10, so enough time to get up, maybe get some breakfast if you wanted to. I mean, I'm not a particularly early riser anyway, so I was finding I was getting a lie-in. And I'm glad I did, because we weren't finishing until something on the order of 8-9 o'clock at night. Because we were trying to work kind of semi-UK hours. So we did that. And it was fine, yeah, you know, it's a bit of a weird day, because I'm used to doing an early start at work because of traffic and all that kind of stuff. When I'm actually working in the UK, so working from 11 to 11ish onwards to about 8, 9 o'clock at night. It's a long shift and a late shift for me. And then we're getting back to the hotel about 9 o'clock, and obviously straight into the restaurant to get whatever tea they had left, and then straight to bed for the next day. So it was kind of switching around everything, but kind of still keeping to the working ethic that we had. Whereas I'd been told we were doing 9 to 5 Indian hours, Trivandrum hours. So that kind of messed up the evening, so we didn't get a lot of chance to do anything in the evenings other than eat and then go to bed.
Scanning for information.
So essentially it was hotel, car, work, car, hotel for the 7 days I was working, and then I was flying back on the Saturday in the afternoon. No, morning again, sorry, I had to go to the airport at basically 2 o'clock in the morning. So it wasn't the best kind of see the sights of India trip. It was an interesting trip in terms of what I had to do for work and what I had to learn. So it did achieve its goals there, and I've got a lot of things to report. But the problem was that I spent the entire week not feeling particularly well, dosed myself up on Imodium the entire time, and because I have IBS, and you're not meant to take Imodium, and if you do, you end up with some rather unfortunate side effects, which essentially meant I spent all of last week doubled up in cramping pains. So that hasn't been a pleasant week. I'm still not 100% better, but at least the cramping pains have stopped, but just need to get my body back into its 100% working mode again before I can guarantee I can get back to work reliably without having an unfortunate accident. So yeah, again, my entire fucking life revolves around lavatories. It's just always the fucking same. I'm telling you, I'm going to die of bowel cancer. That's the only justifiable thing I can find I'm going to die from. But anyway, away from that kind of subject, back onto what's been going on otherwise. So yeah, why was tonight's stream a little bit late in starting, and what the hell has
Completing
been
system
going
scan
on?
for cartography.
Well, as you all know, over the last few weeks I've been having quite a few problems with system crashes. And while I was away in India, I decided that rather than I'd run every single bit of hardware in this PC has been changed. It was changed for something new, then I put all the old stuff back in and the crashes were still happening. So I decided to myself that rather than spending what could be weeks going through different driver configurations and reversing Windows Update things and then trying to see what happens when it crashes and all that kind of stuff, I thought, you know what, fuck it, nuclear attack, reinstall Windows, which is what I've done. I did that kind of piecemeal through the week as much as I could. It's been really hard to sit at a computer, as you can understand, with having any kind of compression on my stomach, which, being a fat guy, means that if I sit down, obviously my stomach sits on my lap and it kind of compresses it in a particularly uncomfortable way. So anytime I did that, I just got waves and waves of pain going through me, to the point where I was actually vomiting because of how sick it was making me feel. So not great. There's another great stream concept to talk about.
Gathering information, cartography updated.
So yeah, piecemeal over the week I've been getting ready to reinstall and then reinstalling Windows, and to the point where I just about got everything done that needed to get done in terms of streaming by the time tonight came around. So the little bit of a late start was me actually getting things configured for streaming for the first time. A little bit of time this afternoon while I was doing some reading and tech stuff on some form filling at work. Spent some time on the phone with Sky trying to sort out my broadband problem, because I've been having remember all this time when I've been having dropouts in the stream, and I've been saying it's because of low speeds on the stream, and I've had to reconfigure some software settings and so on to try and fix it. Well, that was happening again when I got back from India, but obviously I didn't really want to spend much time faffing about with it and see if it sorted itself out, which is pretty much what it did last time. So I spoke to Sky yesterday, and Sky went through some diagnostics with me. I did some wireless diagnostics as much as I could which told me that my wireless was working absolutely fine. My channel was completely free of any interference.
Scanning now.
So there's obviously going to be 2 stars around here. Yeah, upshot of all that, I'm going to summarise that because we didn't sort it out yesterday. I tried them again today, had the same conversation, told them I'd done some more wireless diagnostics, downloaded some applications to check the wireless connections, everything was fine. They were saying I was getting 40 megasecond. I'm saying I'm getting 20 megasecond. They're saying it's because of the wireless. I'm saying it can't be the fucking wireless. I've checked the wireless and it's all fine. And they go, well, I'm not adamant with it's wireless. So I thought, right, okay, the network cable I've got connected between the 2 computers to make file transfer between the 2 different computers faster is long enough, or may have been long enough to get to the actual router itself. So I tried it and it was long enough, and I tried it and they were right. It's the wireless that's causing the problem. So now I have the gaming PC hardwired to the router, and it's now 40 megasecond. Reliable, dependable. Lots of other words ending in nibble.
Scanning.
So yeah, a little bit embarrassing. I had to eat my hat a little bit with the guy that I've been shouting at on the phone. Luckily he's used to it because he works for Sky. So my whole, the 20 years of experience with computers, and I know what I'm talking about. It's bollocks, isn't it? It's fucking bollocks. Embarrassing as fuck, to be honest. I am thoroughly confused, to be honest, because as far as I'm concerned, the wireless connection is fine. I can't find any fault with the wireless connection at all. But if I have the game PC and the laptop connected to the broadband through wireless, then they both get about 20 meg downloads, which is not right.
You're welcome.
Chap. Well, this game has always been horrible. But it's not been horrible. I've only had, other than this week, I've only had one issue, one problem with it, where it's dropped out. And that was resolved by me changing some settings on the actual router itself. So it was the router that was the problem, not anything else. So I don't know. And of course, Sky being Sky, the guy says, "Oh well, you can fix it because we've got a dual band modem you can use now. If you upgrade to Sky Q." Fuck off! Don't sell me shit. But anyway, so yeah. So when the computers were both on the wireless network, the laptop and the gaming machine both had 20 meg download rates. Now that the gaming PC is on the wired connection, it's now getting 40 meg, and the laptop is now getting 30 meg. And the laptop is still on the wireless. So, boom, mind blown. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I don't even pretend to know anything about computers anymore. Basically, I'm retiring and hanging up my cable clips. As a computer knowledgeable person, I have no fucking clue what's going on with internet shit nowadays. So I don't know what to do anymore. It's embarrassing as fuck. But yeah, so that has been my faff this week. So this is the first stream I've done
Gathering
with
information.
everything
Cartography
installed.
updated.
So I'm hoping we're going to get through and not have any issues with crashing and freezing and lockouts. So when the mouse decided to stop working there, it was terrifying, because I thought that's the first thing that happens when the computer was about to lock up. And then of course the edge tracker dropped out as well. But I'm actually thinking I've maybe got some USB issues going on there now as well. Oh, so it just never seems to end. But that's been my week. A weekend Dave. What's been going on with you guys? I'm going to enter a new age of wired network gaming now. As I say, I'm confused because I've never had an issue with wireless gaming before. It's always been stable enough to play a game. It's more or less been stable enough to play while I'm streaming, and I've only ever had, obviously you guys know the dropout issues I have now and again, but that's only now and again. It's
Gathering
not
information.
even what I would
Cartography
call a regular
updated.
thing that happens. And I've always maintained a really good 40 meg connection, so I don't know what the hell's going on with it. But it's fine. I get a feeling I'm going to have a bit of an argument with the wife at some stage very soon about the wire that is now trailing from the office down into the hallway. Unless I do something pretty with it or extend it slightly, because it's actually cutting across the window. Well, I've been taking Imodium for the last couple of weeks, so Stephen, I can say the same thing. My hot ass is acting up as well. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Yeah, wide is the way to go. It's a bit of a shame. Because
Scanning for information.
everything was working so
Okay.
well. I just
75. Readying now.
do it now. Put the cat out. I'll give you a laugh to show how shit I am at this game as well. After I installed it, I did have a quick test to see if it was working, to see if it was going to have any dropouts with the graphics. Because I'm using the standard default driver, I'm not using the NVIDIA Experience driver anymore. Because I'm actually wondering, because that may have been the problem. So I had to install that to get Hearts of Iron working. And at the same time I upgraded GTA 5. So one of those two is what's caused this problem with lockups. And I'm thinking there's the two most likely components would be the NVIDIA GeForce drivers that I installed to get Hearts of Iron working, or a DX upgrade that came with GTA 5. So the computer installed its own driver when it was doing the Windows installation for the graphics card, and it's a driver for this card, but it doesn't use any external software. So if I was going to have to install it as a standalone driver, I would have to get the standalone drivers now, which I would prefer to do, to be honest. For the wired network, use power lines from TP-Link. Yeah, it's something I'm now considering, to be honest, because as you say, something needs to get done. It's probably a good idea to look at an alternative solution rather than having this wire trailing. I've cable tied it up to the wall, cable clipped it to the wall, just to get it out of the way for the moment. But I'm actually quite worried that I may not actually have enough cable to get to the wireless router and have the cable tied to the wall where it needs to be. It's just long enough to get to the thing with a little bit of curve. So I don't know. So yeah, the wired network cable through the power line might be the way to go with it. Is it reliable enough? Is it? Will you get full speeds? Does it count as a completely networked? Is there enough capacity in the cable to carry
Gathering
the network
information.
at full
Cartography
speed?
updated.
Is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure I want to though, Dev TTY. I know from a security standpoint it's important, but from a computer actually working standpoint it may cause the same problems again. If I can find a way to install the drivers without having to use the NVIDIA GeForce Experience software, then I'll try that. So you're getting 75 meg. Is that meg or megabytes or megabits? I'm going to assume megabytes. I'll tell you what then. While
Completing system scan for
just
cartography.
sitting still for a second, what I'll do.
Computers? Computers. Just sophisticated idiots, if you ask me.
Wow. Okay. That's thrown me. That's thrown me completely. What was I going to do? I was going to check the driver version, wasn't I? That was it. Control panel. Device manager. Display adapters. NVIDIA GeForce properties. Driver. Driver date. 28/1/2018. Yep, that's fine. That'll do. So it's obviously grabbed the latest driver it can get just as a standalone driver, which is good. That's good. I'm happy. I'm a happy chappy. So that means the security hole has probably been fixed. Yay! I do like the light from a white giant, whatever it is, a white dwarf. Anyway, I was going to give you a laugh. When I was testing Elite, once I got it installed, I was doing my jump scoop, blah blah blah, and I came across a neutron star. You know, one of the ones with the ball in the middle and the streamers coming off the side. I thought, oh, I'll try for one of those boosts, one of those neutron boosts. So I went for the thing, went for the stream, and it says getting too hot, then bombed me out. That's why my health is down to 81%. Because it wasn't a fucking neutron star, was it? It was a white giant. Which was the same streamer thing. But that isn't purple. And I thought it was purple, maybe I've gone to the wrong side, and then realised it was the wrong type of star. Just as it drummed me out. So that was a bit stupid. Bedford! Bedford! You can get a boost from my white door. Well, why did it just fucking kill me? Fucking thing.
Scanning now.
Lost 80% of my hull because of that fucking thing. Cheer! Yay! Thank you. For some reason my cheer's been reset completely. Probably because I've not been on for God knows how long. Cheer war! Let's have a cheer war! So my Streamlabs.io
Scanning.
Streamlabs chat application isn't working properly. Because it hasn't updated itself since Stephen Carey said my hot ass is acting up. That's not great. This is probably the most I've actually talked for the last 2 weeks. Because obviously I've not streamed and I've not really been at work as such. And even when I was at work, when I was in
Scanning.
India, I wasn't talking much then because I was mainly studying things and investigating the building. Although I'd say something, the building that I was working in, the company I was working for, the canteen they have there is basically what looks like 4 different street traders are doing the canteen, the cafeteria food. So you get 2 big semicircular restaurant things, bars as it were, and they're both divided into 2. So one side you've got one trader, one side you've got another trader, and then the same for the other semicircle. And the food was gorgeous. And for a staff canteen, it was absolutely beautiful. Even for just like a restaurant, it was beautiful. I'm going a bit downhill on this one, isn't I? And it was dirt cheap as well. The staff canteen at my actual workplace is shit because it's over expensive, overpriced, undercooked, shit food. Absolutely shit. There's no range of stuff to have. The stuff they do have is overpriced, cheaply made, and unimaginative as hell. In UST's canteen, it was all kind of on a theme, but it was the staple dishes because there's,
Compiling data for
although there's a lot of
cartography.
variety in meals, the kind of staple dish is biryani. So every one of the 4 different stalls had a biryani menu, but then with other things around the side of it, like curries and plain stuff and Chinese and all that kind of stuff. So they have a variety of stuff on there as well. But get this, egg biryani, right? Egg biryani. You're talking about a portion that's bigger than you would get in a takeaway. So you imagine a takeaway container, and then maybe add another third or maybe another half onto that size of rice. You've got your biryani mix, which is your onions, your peppers, I hope it wasn't peppers because I can't eat peppers, tomatoes and whatever spices are in there to make it the biryani flavour, and 3 boiled
Voice
eggs.
control on.
It's just
Initiating.
huge.
Selecting next system en
Huge.
route.
75 pence that cost. 75 pence. Basically 70 rupees, which, given the fluctuation in the exchange rates that were happening while we were out, 75 pence to a pound. And it was huge. I mean, the 3 of us that were eating them, I think there was only one day they finished theirs, but I'm a fat bastard so I could eat the whole thing. There was only one day I left something. That was only because I'd had a big meal the night before and still wasn't that unhungry. But seriously, I mean, this was horrendous. You're talking about a huge, and I mean huge meal. Right, I've switched my chat client off, so it's not working at all. Talking about a huge meal. You get this great big biryani, and you get poppadom and some raita sauce on the side of it, and it was gorgeous. It was tasted so nice. It wasn't spicy, it was flavourful, and the funny thing about it was, on the second last day, on the Wednesday, sorry, I had a chili chicken biryani, and we had to be escorted around the building because we're not staff, and we didn't have a security pass. So everywhere we had to go through the security doors, and they had to let us through. So we had a different escort pretty much every single day to show us around that part and help us get lunch, so on.
Gathering information.
And some of them are quite
cartography
curious, and
updated.
every single day I was asked the same question. You like spicy food? I said, yes, I like spicy food. And there was one guy on the day I had this chili chicken biryani. He sat and he stared, and I mean creepy stared. It wasn't just watching me; he was watching me eat, waiting for me to do something funny, like waiting for me to explode. And my son does that quite a lot as well. He actually sits there and watches me eat. God knows why. But this guy, this guy wasn't just looking at you. He was like,
10%.
and I was like, what? And he goes, it's spicy. I said, it's a little bit spicy, yeah. And he looked so disappointed. I felt like he was going to cry when I just said, yeah, it's all right. It's a bit spicy, yeah. Because this must have been the hottest thing they had. I don't know. I mean, it's described as chili chicken biryani, so I would assume that the chili factor would be more than your egg biryani, which doesn't have chili in it, I suppose. But to be honest, it wasn't all that hot. And I think this is the thing, is that they think British people don't eat a lot of spicy food, whereas the British people who eat Indian food eat spicy Indian food because it's overspiced. And Britain always overspices stuff. I mean, you go for a Madras in a British restaurant, and it will be twice as hot as you'll get it in an Indian, in a restaurant in India. Simply because of the fact that we have this expectation that a Madras will be spicy. And I don't know where it's come from, because a Madras in Chennai, where Madras comes from, apparently is quite a mild curry. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about in there. But I think that's the thing. The assumption is that if you're a British person, you're obviously not that great at eating chili. Whereas me, I've eaten Indian food since I was little, since I was about 12, I think. And have gone through a phase of being able to eat vindaloo and Madras without even sniffing. Those days are long gone, by the way. I couldn't handle a vindaloo now. But I can still handle a Madras. Might get a bit of a sweat on the top lip, but I can still handle a Madras, no problem. If it's made properly. But there are certain places around that you go for this Madras and they think, oh, you must like the spicy, and they'll chuck all the spice they can find into it. Jesus, that's
Completing
great.
system scan for cartography.
Don't think I'm going to refuel off that. Oh no, I am. It's fine. You make me want a takeaway. That's the thing. I'm worried because I think I've now been spoiled. Must make curry. But that's my worry. I don't think I'll enjoy curries anymore here because they're so different over there, and I think I may have ruined my palate. Like a biryani, for example, you go there and you look at this biryani, and it's rice. It's a little bit, it's fried rice. It's basically egg fried rice, right? It's not pilau rice. It's egg fried rice, which is other than the spiciness, like you know how a Chinese fried rice has a kind of Chinese style flavour to it, like it's got a little bit of soy sauce in it, or it's got a little bit of five spice or something like that. One of the Chinese style flavourings. Whereas biryani fried rice
Scanning for information.
has been cooked in an Indian spice sauce, so it's Indian fried rice as opposed to Chinese fried rice. But it has a particular flavour, and the thing is, when you get a biryani from an Indian restaurant over here, it's not made the same way, and I don't know why. But you look at the list of things you can get in an Indian restaurant over here, and it doesn't include egg biryani for a start. It includes chicken and chicken tikka and the usual sort of stuff. But I don't want a chicken tikka biryani. I want an egg biryani now, because it was bloody lovely. Just the fact of just getting three boiled eggs, and just cutting them up and mixing it through this biryani rice was absolutely fucking beautiful. And the flavour of the biryani sauce, the biryani mix, was gorgeous. And I'm worried that if I have a biryani here, it's going to be full of big slabs of onion and slabs of pepper and slabs of tomato and slabs of bit of stuff that I don't bloody want. It was And I'm just worried because I don't want to ruin that experience now by having something that's shit over here. I'm just wondering if there's any possibility I can get in touch with the local takeaways and say, look, can you please just send me like a little tub, a little tiny tub, like the sauce pots or something that you get in Chinese's these days, like a sauce pot sized tub of your biryani, just so I can try it. Because then I can find out if they're going to make it the way that I remember it being in India, and if I'm going to actually enjoy it. Because I mean, I've had biryanis over here, and this is what I mean, I've had biryanis over here before, a while ago now. Oh, I could talk about curry forever. I've been a big... Curry is my favourite food, it always has been my favourite food. Indian is the sort of stuff that I've eaten since I was 12. Part of the reason why I'm such a fat bastard is because of curry.
Scanning now.
The amount of fat and sugar that you get in most curry sauces over here is ridiculous. And that's basically why I'm diabetic. Alright, I'm going to catch up on some of these messages now. I'll finish gobbing for a while. Let's see what we've got. So, Stephen Curry's hot ass. Dragging through gunks, depending on which remove it, then I'll open it. Yeah, that does happen. If they've used a cheap grease, it'll gunk up. And also, if you're in a kind of dusty environment or a humid environment, then it'll gunk up even more. So it'll get water in it and bits and pieces, and it'll just turn into a sludge. It's usually best to clean them every year, I think. You get a good quality. Like, don't use grease, but use oh god, what the graphite bike oil apparently is really good because it's not gunky, and it's the graphite rather than the actual fluid that makes it, graphite in the fluid that actually makes it slide, so it doesn't gunk up as much and it lasts longer. The same kind of stuff you use on BMXs or stuff like that. It works quite well. My 6-year-old daughter loves a hot curry. She's quite the animal with spicy food. Well, good on her. Although, as I say, I don't think you need to be an animal with spicy food to be a hard person. Bifford! Finished watching... Typical Bifford, off on a complete tangent. Finished watching Star Trek Discovery last night, the last 4 eps. The weird thing was the site I watched them from had the 15 episodes stunts and that were Lorca to take over them, so it was missing. Despite there being no missing eps. Burr? Wow. I very much enjoyed STD. You very much enjoyed STD? Okay, fair enough. Which one did you get? Did you get syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia? All the good ones? I had to do the joke, sorry. I have to admit, right, I didn't want to enjoy Star Trek Discovery. I didn't want to enjoy it at all. I wanted to absolutely fucking hate it. I watched the first episode and I just looked at it and I thought, you know what? As a Star Trek fan, you have completely missed the whole aesthetic and the whole, you know, the way that us fans usually go on about the fact that they've broken canon, they've broken the history, they've broken the continuity. We've now got ultra modern ships, but there is that little part underneath that goes, well, you know, if they could remake Star Trek the original series now, would they? And fair enough, no, they won't. The Star Trek starship's design was influenced more by the aesthetics of the day, like every other series has been. And this is the problem when you go back and do all the prequel stuff that you do, or you do
cartography updated.
preview shit that goes on. And you are going to have this thing where you're going to have more updated content. I'm getting to that, Biff. By the way, if anybody doesn't want spoilers for Discovery, if you haven't watched it yet, then tell me and I'll stop talking. But yeah, the whole thing about the broken aesthetic is the thing that puts everyone off these programs. But putting that to one side, putting a pin in that and putting it over to the side a minute, it was a good series. I actually really enjoyed it. Because for once, it was a completely different take, which is what's been needed for a long time. Because the problem with everything up to Enterprise is that it tried to keep along the same kind of emotional aesthetic rather than physical aesthetic. And that's where it started to die, because trying to create diverse environments to have your stories in, and then using the same philosophy for those stories and the same creative team for those stories kind of constrained it a little. And that was no less clear than in Voyager and Voyager and Enterprise especially, because they were lost. They didn't know what else to do, and they just kept repeating the same old crap with a different frame around it every single time. And I think everything that Discovery has done, they've done right, and that's the problem. It's more to do, I think, with they took a risk and changed up the entire universe in order to have fresh stories to tell, and it works, and it was a good thing. So they keep trying to say that it's set in the Prime Universe, but I mean, it clearly isn't set in the Prime Universe that we know from the 60s, blah 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 blah. It's set in the Prime Universe that they've now created, so fair enough. But they say that they have said, and this is interesting, the producers have actually said that the journey that Discovery goes on will take you up to the point of the original series and how it starts. So they're making it sound like there's a journey between where we are now and the aesthetic we have at this point in time, and potentially there may be some changes down the line to bring it more into what the next aesthetic's going to be. Because we all know that fashions change. We're currently going through the 70s again, apparently. We went through the 80s in the last decade again, and all that kind of stuff. So there's things going on. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to bring it back into what's happened. Or bring it back into the era of the 60s. Because they can't anyway, because you think about it, you've got Pike and Spock and all that kind of stuff. So you're already kind of 3 years after Pike's missions, which you see in the Menagerie, or the Cage if you want to use the actual original pilot. And that's where you already had the yellow uniforms, admittedly with blue overalls, which is interesting. And you had all that. So they've kind of broken the aesthetic already, so they're not going to fix that, and I don't think it's going to go any further than that. But I don't care, actually, honestly, because I hated Enterprise, because Enterprise broke the canon and was shit, and had shit stories, and shit acting, and shit characters, and was just basically a waste of people like Connor Trenier, and the guy whose name I can never remember, who played Archer, or Sam Beckett. Let's just call him Sam. God. I mean, he's a brilliant actor, that guy, because he's now doing NCIS New Orleans, and he's knocking it out of the park. And he knocked Quantum Leap out of the park because he had people there he could work with that were actually fucking decent writers and decent directors. Bakula, thank you, Scott Bakula. I knew I could rely on Bifford to tell me. Enterprise was shit, Bifford. It was biggest pile of wank that ever graced my television. It was offensively bad. No one could act. It was like watching planks walk around on a set. Oops. Jolene Blalock can't act anyway, so there was no wasting her talent. She was shit all the way. But no, even on its own, it was crap. It was badly acted, badly written. The story sucked. They tried to do the whole thing with the augments, and it was weak as hell. The ideas, but it's one of those things like Star Wars. You look at the ideas behind it, and there were good ideas in the background. Good ideas for the ongoing stories as normal. So your arc was good, but the actual details, the dialogue, the characters, the events were all
Compiling data for cartography.
shit. Bag of utter tot. So anyway, yeah, that was that. But Discovery, although the weakest thing about it was the Klingons. Because although giving them a completely new aesthetic was really good, and giving them a completely new look and a completely new background was a great idea, it brought them bang up to date and brought them bang into a new interesting type of story. Breaking them apart, not having the Empire as we know it, again, it's one of those things where they're trying to compress things too much. They did it with Enterprise, and I think it's the one mistake they've made. The main mistake they made with the Klingons is that, because the Enterprise made that mistake with the Vulcans, saying that they were still not a logical society properly. No, I've done that. No, I haven't. But yeah, so the Klingon thing about having them fractured into the way that they are and then trying to reunify them into one empire, it's a good story arc for that race if they follow it through. If they've left it where they've left it, and that's going to be the end of that story, then I'm not entirely sure where that's going to go. Incorporating the whole Vokis Tyler thing brings in the whole thing about being able to surgically alter Klingons to look like humans, which is a good knockback to
Scanning.
some of the original series stuff. But I just think it's not anything to do with the Klingons conceptually that pisses me off. It's the speed that they talk at. Because, oh my god, anything that's done in the Klingon language is slow, plodding, unemotional, dry crap. I mean, honestly, they're all, in the first couple of episodes, they're all talking about how the glorious empire will rise and I'll unify. I'm the nicest, great big thing all going on, blah blah blah, and they're all saying it like they're fucking stoned, because they just can't wrap their tongues around this language, which is a shame because otherwise it's really good. But anyway, so. But yeah, so the story was good, the acting was good, the characters were good. It's great to see an actual alien-esque character. The first officer. Crap. The guy with the tendrils. Oh god, I can't remember his name now. But that actor is fantastic. He's managed to make that guy look and feel so alien, including everything down to his walk, was amazing. Amazing. So yeah, that was very good. Sonequa Martin Green knocked it out of the park as she always does. Michelle Yeoh could have done without her. I mean, a legend as far as cinema China is concerned, yes, but you can really tell that English is not her first language, and you can still she still manages to do well as Emperor Giorgio. But it's still dry. She still doesn't get nearly enough inflection into anything she's doing, and it's a shame because, like I say, she's a really good character, just not particularly well acted, sadly. Yeah, and the rest of the supporting cast, I mean, I thought Tilly was fantastic. She was just such an open, engaging, different character. The single F-bomb that was delivered through the series was just pointless. There was no need for that at all. And it was one of the things that did spoil it a little bit for me, because to me, leaving off the whole swearing thing anyway, to me, Star Trek is something you should be able to get your family into. So it's always been for me. My mum and dad were Star Trek fans when I was growing up. They got me into it. I've got my kids into it. And I don't honestly think that we're going to take that any further, because now you can't get a kid into a programme that is R-rated or 12 or 15 rated, whatever it's going to be in Britain when it comes out on video. It's wrecked, really. You can't really call it family viewing anymore when someone's going F this, F that all the time, or even once. Which is sad. Saru, thank you. Okay, I've lost track of messages again now, haven't I? So yeah, no one has any spoiler alerts there, so fine. I'm jealous, Maniac Psycho. Send some down my way as well. It was in the last 30 seconds of the last episode of Season 1. Well, yes, obviously. So yeah, that's an interesting bookend to the series. That I am very keen on seeing what happens next. I'd like to see what they're going to do with that ending. the design is very interesting, and I do like it actually. And I'm not going to go on about this whole Prime Universe blah blah blah. For those of you who don't know, if you don't want to hear it, cover your ears and don't listen to this bit of the stream. But essentially, in the last 30 seconds, or the last minute, the Discovery encounters the original Enterprise. So NCC 1701, under the command of Captain Pike, floats up to the front of Discovery, and you see what it looks like. And it's not the original Enterprise. It's not the classic design. It's not the old design, straight nacelles. It's more of a movie design Enterprise. Not the new movies. It's more of the the Star Trek 3 Search for Spock Enterprise, or Wrath of Khan Enterprise. Blah blah blah. And no, it's not canon. It's not right. It's not there. But it's fucking lovely, because it's also not the movie series one either. It's almost as if they've gone into the head of the person that did the Phase 2 Enterprise, the concept model of which I've got sitting over there, and used that as the basis and then just made it look wonderful. I love it, and I want to see more of it, and I want a model of it, and I'm probably going to manage to get one, but I'm going to pay 40 quid for it, because there's a Discovery model set, the official Star Trek diecast spaceship set that's been done by Eagle Moss. Well, they've got the license to Discovery as well, and I've got their bloody thing, the Shenzhou, which I'm going to show you because it's pretty cool. And I like showing you guys things that are cool. So here it is. Here's the model. Hang on. What I'll do is I'll keep floating away, but I'll pop on my other. See that one? And video capture.
You're welcome.
Cam 1. There we go. Hello everybody. So I'll move myself back down to where I'm meant to be, down that corner. So what we've got is that. So that's a model. This you can get from Eagle Moss's website as an introductory offer for only $9.99. So go to eaglemoss.com and click on the link to the Discovery stuff that's on there, and it will give you the model. So this is the first time I've actually touched it now. Just let me pin it back on again. There you go. The USS Shenzhou. You can't see it very well with this camera because I've not got it on the highest settings and so on. But it's lovely, it's beautiful, so detailed. Again, focus, you stupid camera. So yeah, that is a nice model. I will be trying to find somewhere to put that when I've cleaned up a little bit. I've cleaned up a bit here already actually, but there it is. So, yeah, it comes with a little booklet. Have I got that handy? I do indeed. With a little booklet, like so. With some diagrams, drawings, a bit of history. It's not a great big manual, to be honest. It's tiny. It's like 10 pages. 16 pages altogether, this book. So it's not huge, but it does fit nicely into the box it came in, actually, which is nice. I'm going to put that in there. But the set's going to have the Discoveries next. That'll be 40 quid. And I think all the models that come after that, which are quite large, because that's the biggest model I've seen in a basic range. Yeah, they're all going to be 40 quid. So they've released what some of them are going to be. They've got 8 or 9 so far. I think there's an information sheet over here that might have them on. Have a look. Yeah, so coming up we've got the Shenzhou, we've got Discovery coming next. We've got the USS Kerala, Shepherd class, USS Shran McGee class, USS Jaeger Cardenas class, USS Edison Hoover class, and USS Europa Nimitz class, and that's the Federation one so far. And the Klingon fleet you've got coming. Klingon Bird of Prey, the Kuch class destroyer, the Daspo class ship, Vechlach class, and Bisl class. Coming up, they've got the USS Tiplanahath, the USS Clark, and more. And you've got the Koch class, the Cleve ship, the Telakpa class, Katich class battlecruiser, Char class, Yach class, Jekha class, Sech class, and more. So yeah. So there's issue 2 with the Discovery, as you can see.
Gathering
there,
information,
we've got
cartography
all those
updated.
ones, which I'll bring up soon to the Klingon ones as well. So all those coming. Doesn't list the Enterprise on there yet. But I have no doubt it'll come. Probably as a special edition one. But I don't care, because I'm not going to get the whole set. Because basically it's far too expensive to justify getting ships that I don't really care about. Am I going to get the thingy? Am I going to get the Discovery? I don't know. I honestly don't know whether I want to get the Discovery or not. I like the Shenzhou design. Shenzhou design. I'm not sure I like the Discovery class design enough to want to buy the ship. Not for 40 quid anyway. Some of them are lovely, but are they 40 quid a time lovely? I honestly don't know, and I don't know what to do. Well, I just discovered that the classes of ships, the classes of Federation ships, are actually all named after astronauts. So Crossfield class is the Discovery's class name, and it's named after the astronaut James Crossfield, I think. Not sure, but anyway, there you go. So yeah, I mean, the Enterprise's design looks lovely. It looks gorgeous, and I am looking forward to seeing that when it arrives. I'm looking forward to seeing it more in the next season if it's going to be in there. Well, they did the shuttles all being rivers with Deep Space Nine, didn't they? The runabouts were all named after major rivers.
Gathering information, cartography updated.
The Danube class, they were called. So yeah, Discovery, yeah, I really liked it. I really did like it, and I was quite shocked to actually consistently enjoy it all the way through. There was a few good twists. I think some people did probably see the Lorca thing coming, but it was good. It was a good twist, and it was well done, even though it was kind of telegraphed. But even when it was done, it was well done. Because they must have thought at some point that somebody might twig onto that kind of stuff. Zach Antonacci! Oh my god, we are in the presence of elite royalty. We bow down and we worship. And we're on the wrong fucking screen, I've just realised. Hang on. Nope, not that one. That one. There we go, we're back. Turn that off. Nope, turn that off. There. Zach, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. I think they did it very well, because everyone was thinking it was Section 31. And that was a nice little touch, because they put a few little hints into the series before that point that it could be, because Section 31 was mentioned, and obviously 31 is actually part of the registration number of Discovery, because it's 1031, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, even when they did it, and they were actually starting to reveal what was going on with the whole eye drop thing and all that kind of stuff. You were getting this thing in the brig where he was getting interrogated and potentially punished by the guy that was interrogating and punishing him. And it looked like he might not know what was going on. And then you got that snap reveal of the eye drops, and then he just goes bam, and kicks the shit out of that guy and says, "Your sister's name was this." And it's like, oh my god! So even though it was kind of already guessed by some people, it was still enough. It was well enough done, or well written enough, to be still an impactful twist. So yeah, hats off to them. They did a really good job. So, leaving aside my it's not original Trek, it's broken all the canon designs and all that stuff, it was a bloody good series, and it was really well done. And I am really looking forward to the next one. Roddenberry would hate it, obviously. I actually think Berman would probably hate it as well, but Roddenberry would be turning in his grave right now. But quite frankly, I don't care, because it was fun. It was good TV. It may not have been what everybody would call Star Trek, but I think it has repaired a fair bit of the damage that the 2009 film series has done, by at least giving us something that we can watch and enjoy. It isn't trying to be something it's not. And it's just been storytelling for storytelling's sake, not constrained. It's using the universe and the canon as something to expand into, rather than constrain it. And I think they've done a very good job of doing that.
Gathering information, cartography updated.
There's been a lot of stuff that's been happening lately that's quite good TV wise. I mean, I've enjoyed Discovery. Oh, you mean Fast and Furious Beyond? I'm not had a chance yet, dude. I've been trying to fix technical shit out. I think the only reason that Beastie Boys should be a weapon of choice is if they're put into a torpedo tube and fired. The other thing was the Orville as well, wasn't it? Which kind of which came across at a very interesting time. It's interesting that they both came out at the same time, I think. I did enjoy the Orville, but I was impressed that McFarlane managed to only keep one dick joke in for each episode, so that was quite good. Yeah, that's what sparked me off, Biff. But it was actually very well done, and it was more well done than I thought it would be. You can tell, it's glaringly obvious that Seth MacFarlane is a fucking Star Trek fanboy, big time. You can tell, and he's never made any bones about it. He said this is what he wanted to do since he was little and watched Star Trek for the first time. And yeah, that shows. But he actually has approached it with a very competent and very mature concept, and I think he's done it really well. And he has decent, interesting characters. He doesn't focus on the comedy. He focuses on every different aspect of the story and its stuff going on. And everyone's got the moment in the sun, which is great. So yeah, I think he's done a very good job, and it's very enjoyable in a way that isn't Star Trek, and it starts to divorce itself from the Star Trek kind of
completing
shadow
system scan for cartography
quite early on, and does it very well. Exactly, yeah, that was really good. It's also good that he's not been scared to say we're going to try and follow the same kind of ethic, but people are people, and I think that's where it finds its own, is that people are people. They will do what they have to do to maintain their existence or maintain safety for their loved ones and all that kind of stuff. So it does work very well. yes, they'd enjoy it. And then there's Star Wars Rebels as well, which is coming to a close this evening. I'm waiting with bated breath for the last 2 episodes to have been shown, so that I can find them and then finish off the series. I'm gutted that it's coming to an end because it's been a really good series. Yeah, so I mean, it's got comedy stories, it's got fun stories, it's got serious stories, and it's just got character interplay like you would not believe, and it works so well. It just does. But yeah, Rebels is the thing that is coming to a close now. And I'm quite sad to see it go, because I was enjoying watching those characters develop. And I think they could have had another couple of years, another couple of seasons to just keep developing the way they were developing. I think, and just finish off their stories properly, because it does seem a little bit rushed.
Scanning for information.
The way it's currently going. But I'm hoping that the story is going to wrap up in a good way in this evening's episodes, and then we'll see where it finishes. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously there's the thing that, you know, none of these characters have been seen in A New Hope, although General Syndulla was mentioned in Rogue One, as was the Ghost was seen in the Battle of Scarif. So we have a sneaking suspicion that those two have survived up till the start of New Hope, at least till the Battle of Scarif. But what then happens to them from there is anybody's guess. Could that be taken through another series?
Gathering information.
But the fact that we haven't really
Cartography
seen
updated.
anything of Jedis or anything like that, and that Luke's
Yellow
meant to be the
alert.
last Jedi at that point, it does make you wonder whether they are gonna make it through safely or not. And I suppose part of me is saying probably not. The good thing about Rebels is it doesn't take long to watch. 5 seasons of 20-minute episodes, and there's about 20 or 16 of each in each season, so it won't take you long, and it's probably a good thing to binge watch, actually. But the last 2 episodes that were on before tonight were really, really good. Really, really good episodes. I think, honestly, the Clone Wars series, the animated stuff that Lucasfilm have done, even though Disney's kind of behind Rebels, have done a hell of a lot to
Scanning now.
shore up the sorry state that Star Wars was left in after the prequels came along. Clone Wars actually made Anakin's character believable again, which was good. It was sorely needed, and it's a shame that the guy playing him in Clone Wars couldn't be sort of matted into him and actually play him properly, and well, with some decent writing in episode 2, but never mind. But no, the animated stuff they've done I think it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. I love that they've tied together Clone Wars and Rebels with a couple of characters there, like getting Ahsoka back was great, and getting Rex in there was a nice little touch to what, and especially his take on what Stormtroopers have become. Gamora! Not only have we got royalty like Zach Antonacci around, we've got royalty like Gamora. Wow! All the guys are here.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
You did so. Then give me your shit, Byford. You got a Bifford, yay! And then I went, Bifford! What more do you fucking want? Do you want to come across and give me a fucking blowjob or something? Jesus! Spoiled bitch! If you only turned up now and again, you'd be royalty. But you turn up every week and then talk bollocks for 3 hours. Even though I'm only on for 2 hours. So you can't be royalty, you're just part of the furniture now. I mean, Garzini cheered and subscribed, and I didn't even say yay to Garzini, did I? I just went, Garzini, hello! He's not fucking pissy about it, is he? No, because he's not a fucking little girl. That's because, like I said, you're a spoilt bitch. If you stop acting like a spoilt bitch, you'll get some respect again. So is Selezen. Do you know what? I have to say, I don't actually miss the head tilt. It doesn't matter how occasionally you turn up, tomorrow you're always welcome. Everyone's welcome, I'm not picky. I'm a bit of a Twitch whore. Yeah, see, comments like that, Bifford, is why you don't get cheers. Oh god. I've changed my mind, Gamora, you can bugger off as well.
That is not an option.
Oh, you're all weird.
Understood.
Oh dear.
Lowering gear.
Oh, so what I'll do tonight, I might hang around for quarter of an hour extra to cover the quarter of an hour that I missed earlier. So
Scanning for information.
that'll give Galactic Maiden time to come and actually say hello before I log off. Wow. Time capsule. I think I've seen one of them actually. Gene Bank sounds interesting. Nice, that's all being expanded then since I did the RPG. The RPG? Wow. RPG.
Compiling data for cartography.
miles away there. What the hell was I thinking about that? Oh, dearie me.
Scanning.
Yeah, it's alright, Garzini. I think you're okay. Zach's buggered off now, I think. Yeah, that was just hiding in the shadows, waiting to pounce. Hiding behind the loach. Or the couch, whichever's easier to spell. Do 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 wee. Must be doing something right in terms of sound this evening, because Biffa hasn't complained that the sound's not right, so it must be spot on. Ah, that already slipping.
Reversing thrusters.
Wow.
Gathering information. Cartography updated. Compiling data for cartography. Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Yeah, me too. Put it this way, if it wasn't gone, I wasn't going out of the house tomorrow to go to work.
Scanning for information.
Interesting. Not going to Avebury then. Here's a go my chieftain on the dark side of the planet I'm on. It's awesome. I am really looking forward to getting one of them.
Completing system scan for cartography.
You didn't like the Diamondback? I love the Diamondback. I think it's gorgeous.
Scanning now.
It feels so nice to fly. You're not doing it right. Unless they've nerfed it in this version or something, but I remember it being way more maneuverable than the Type 7. Type 7 was a box on legs.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Although I wouldn't put it past Frontier and their evil plans to nerf the ships around about the same size as the Chieftain and make the Chieftain the better option. And get people in Chieftains. Because I think something's going to happen with them. Couple of trips, maybe? A week? So, depends how many cargo spaces you've got there, Garzini. If you've got 2, that's 1,000 trips. 1,200 trips.
Compiling data for cartography. Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Roll call.
I am here.
Greetings.
I'm here.
Reporting for duty.
Greetings.
Standing by.
Crewman Orion to navigation. Nice one, Biff.
That's affirmative. Scanning.
I'll start looking for something to land shortly. Well, here, that was something interesting as well. Were any of you guys at the launch event?
Affirmative, Commander.
It's a long
Completing
jump.
system scan for cartography.
Well, the reason I ask is it's not, this statement's not going to mean anything to you now, but at the launch event there was a guy, there was a question and answer session with the guys from Frontier. It's the cat feeding. Let the cat out. Yeah, there was a Q&A session at the launch event. And there was a question asked. Now, if I'm remembering this correctly, it was a question about procedural generation. The guy that asked it in a very long-winded way. So the question took a long time to ask, and at the end of the asking of the question, the guys on stage just kind of looked at each other because it was a really technical, programming-involved question about depths of procedural generation, all that kind of stuff. So it was a very technical question, a very detailed question. And they couldn't answer it because they just kind of looked at each other and sort of said, well, no, I don't know. The guy that asked that question actually works with me. He was one of the guys that was in India with me. And we had no idea that each other were actually into Elite until I mentioned something about going to conventions. I said I used something for going to conventions. And he goes, what sort of conventions? And I said, Elite conventions. And he went, you're kidding. I went, no. And he said, let me show you something then. And he got his phone out, went into his Facebook account. On his Facebook account, he's got photos of the launch event. I went, oh, okay, interesting. Let me show you something then. So it turns out he was at the launch event. He asked that question. He's been in the community for a fair while. He was one of the people that pledged a shitload of money into the Kickstarter when it was coming out. And we set about 20 metres, sorry, 10 metres away from each other, and no idea. Even though I've gone banged on about this RPG and Elite for the entire time that I've worked at Experian. So, good stuff, innit? It's amazing what, you know, small world. The fact that we got sent to India in the same week is a bit of a coincidence. But no, it was great. We had a good couple of nights of just jabbering away about Elite. And for once, it wasn't me starting the conversation. It was like heaven. It was like somebody went into my head and said, you know what, if you wanted something that you could do, that could happen this week, what would you want to do? And I'd have said, if somebody could come along that would start a conversation about Elite that I don't have to start, that would be awesome, because it'd be different. Yeah, and there it is. It happened. So yeah, he has a planet, he has a station, he has a system. He went to the launch event.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
So yeah, that was quite cool.
You're welcome.
And there it is. This is his system, Sudine. That's his planet, New Rutland. And that's his station. That's also his name. How cool is that? I don't actually know if he went to the Expos, to be honest. I'm about just over halfway there. Doing okay. There you go. I just think that's pretty cool. I didn't actually ask him if he'd gone to the expo. Or did I? No, I don't think I asked him that actually. I was still blown away by the fact that he'd been to the launch event, and he said he was sitting in the front row at the Q&A session at the launch event. And that was what made me think that he asked a question. Anna's in the front row because me and Anne were sitting on the front row because we managed to get chairs put on the end of the front row because with Anne being in a wheelchair. And well, that's just on sticks that day. Been on sticks anyway.
Scanning now.
And I remember looking along the row to look at who was asking this extremely detailed, rather nerdy question. And the more I listen to Darren's voice sometimes, the more I remember that question, the more I remember listening to that question being asked, but not the actual content of the question. Just kind of weird, because he has a very distinctive voice. And it was weird just to listen to that and say, God, yeah, I actually do remember listening to that voice in that complete different scenario. Because you've got to remember, that was 2 years before I even met the guy. 2 years before I even started working at the same place he worked at. I was still at Balfour Beatty at that point. Okay, what time are we looking at? 12 minutes past. So I was thinking about leaving, about going away shortly. So I'm going to make this my last jump. And then I'm going to call it a night for the night. We managed to get through a night without a crash, so we are streaming. We have dropped 0 frames.
Scanning for information.
So we've got to land on. There we go. Nice. That'll do nicely.
You're welcome.
Closed system map. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? See if we can get these key bindings sorted out. So it's been a fun evening. Ooh, cannon ship. Nice. $2,000 credits profit per ton. Wow! That's powerful, dude. That's good. I did think that would be a very useful thing to get. Having trade tools in the game now is going to be so valuable. Babylon 5 RPG. Which one? There's quite a few of them these days. To the one that came before Babylon 5 Wars. Oh, look at that planet. Lovely. See, yep, those textures are making a big difference to my immersion. They are lovely. I'm going to have to go for that red crater, I think. Epsilon Indo. Nice.
On.
That's my baby, right on the left of the crater in the red. In the border of the red and white bit. How long is that? Quite an old one, or is it quite a recent one? There's some splashes of purple in there as well. Yeah, I think it's the one that came out before Mongoose got the license.
Opening hailing frequencies.
It is nice. I must admit, I'm feeling the love for the exploration guys. That was a bit far for it. So there we are. First live landing on a beyond planet. the depth of colour in that. It's amazing. Purples, greens, blues, everything. It's beautiful. Do our usual, grab a screenshot. And that's us done for another evening, people. I hope you've enjoyed this one step beyond. I wonder what those colours denote in terms of mineral deposits. I'd have to have a look. Drove SOV backwards in the red trail. Cool. That is good. It's all these little touches that make it immersive, and it's what makes the exploration thing so fun. That's why I like it. I'm going to have to get out and kick about in an SRB for a bit, because I haven't done that for ages. I need to make sure I've got all the mappings done properly for the joystick first though. So, anyway, people, it has been great to be back. I've really enjoyed the fact that we're back online again. I have missed this stuff the last couple of weeks, and missed talking to you guys, especially Garzini and Bifford. But it's great to see different people dropping in, even the royalty of Frontier Developments sparing their what was the tech issue? Oh, the tech issue was just basically everything not working. The only thing actually working was OBS, but it wouldn't stream anything. The sound wasn't working on it, the video wasn't working properly. The camera wasn't working, the microphone wasn't working, my streaming kit wasn't working properly, so my overlays weren't working, my chat overlay hadn't been installed and wasn't configured, my stream key wasn't input into Twitch for some reason, obviously because I've not logged into Twitch from this computer for so long. It had lost the computer settings. So I had to reconfigure everything, and I only discovered this at like 7:45, so I was still faffing about. Had to install various different .NET frameworks, which can take a bit of a while to do, but never mind. Because reinstalling
Opening hailing
Windows,
frequencies.
I had to completely reinstall Windows, Bifford, in order to stop those crashes and freezes from happening. I had to go back to vanilla, indeed. So, on that bombshell, I'm just going to close down some of the programs. Yeah, the Ed Tracker wasn't working as well, the joystick wasn't configured properly, I was getting a USB dropout, then the mouse stopped working at the start of the stream. Just everything that could go wrong. I thought I had everything configured and sorted out yesterday, it turns out it didn't, so there you go. But we seem to be working now. I fudged it now and it's working, and we'll see how things go. I'm just hoping that my mouse hasn't just died on me, because I'm now using a wired mouse. Awesome stuff, innit? So for the moment I am going to say good evening to you all. Thank you again for watching. Please, please, please keep watching. If you haven't subscribed and you haven't done all this shit you have to do to watch this channel, like, God, how does it work? Follow it, that's it, you follow it. You subscribe if you want to pay me money. I can always say do that. I would love it if you did that. But for now I am going to go. I hope you have a great time. Have a good week. And if I don't see you during the week, I shall see you next Monday. Good night!